joining me on this fourth week of the legislative session. This is deadline week, which means all bills have to be through policy hearings in either the House or the Senate by this week. They'll have one more week to finish their path in the opposite body that they've made deadline in this week, and then those bills can go to the House floor. Tax bills and finance bills still have an additional week to get their work done. But it's been very, very busy since the start of session, actually, but this has been a particularly busy week for me with bills for my constituents, many of you back home, as well as dealing with issues that are important to the whole state. Some of those you may have heard about are the newborn screening bill. Had its hearing in Health and Human Services and also Civil Law, so that's finished the two committees it needs to go through and now awaits action on the House floor. It's controversial, but a very good bill for the safety of children and babies, public health, and I'm very excited to be able to make the necessary changes to restore Minnesota to its former top spot in the area of research. Also this week I had the graduated teen driver's license modification bill heard, and many of you know that was a bill I carried a number of years ago. We've had absolutely marvelous results. Deaths and accidents have all dropped since the day that bill was passed. But we do know that 36% of kids who take the driver's test are still failing it. So we are going to bump up the number of hours behind the wheel that a child has with their parent, but give parents an opportunity to take an hour-and-a-half parent course. And if they take that parent course, they'll only have to do 40 hours behind the wheel with their child rather than the 50 that the law will now require. I don't know how that's going to progress in the Senate, but we had a wonderful bill bill hearing, and it passed with bipartisan and unanimous support last night, which was really exciting. A number of other bills have been moving this week. Many of you know I've worked a lot on apprenticeships. We had a really wonderful but quick hearing last night in the Jobs Committee on apprenticeships, also the Angel Investment Tax Credit bill for rural Minnesota. Some money specifically set aside for rural Minnesota has also been heard in Jobs and moved along to the Tax Committee. So there's just a lot going on. And I'm feeling like the bills I'm carrying for constituents are moving at a good pace. One for the Alzheimer's Association is moving along in healthcare today. And the chair of the committee, Representative Liebling from Rochester, is making certain that that bill gets a hearing and is moved along as well. And then another constituent bill, the mugshot bill, is heard tomorrow. So I still have one more bill hearing yet this week that I'm aware of. There could be another one as late as Friday in order to make all those deadlines. So along with all that action that's happening in the committees, those are just a few of my bills. The whole place is a beehive of action in every committee, and so many, many bills are being heard. Someone asked if we'd had a record number of filings because they saw that the number of bill filings had reached over 3,100. But in fact, I did a little bit of checking, and that's not even close to the record, which was made a number of years ago. So perhaps I'll share some of that information with you another time. In closing, I'd just like to say we're still awaiting the Senate to hear the tax bill. We passed the tax conformity bill 2 weeks ago now out of the House, and the Senate has really been dragging their feet. The governor issued a very strong statement yesterday in his first appearance since he had his hip surgery, and really admonished the Senate and said they need to do their work and get that tax bill to his desk. It doesn't look exactly like the House bill, which means, of course, that it'll take even longer to get to the governor, but I am hopeful that some of you and some of us are letting the Senate know how displeased we are with their delay. So afraid that might be tied up with some of the other end of session negotiations, but I sure hope not, because we want you to be able to have the advantage of those tax conformity credits yet this year. So that's pretty much where we are this week. Lots going on, lots more to share with you in the coming weeks. Until next time.